Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. I'm your host, Mike Larkin, and joining me tonight is adult star, content creator, and a hell of a one at that, the one, the only, Miss Brianna Brooks. How are you, Brianna?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege. You have been doing a lot of great work on as far as the adult side goes and in content creation. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. I got to say, you're certainly showcasing your internal and external beauty with all your work that you do. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I was super excited to get the opportunity to come on your show and, just chat with you and share, whatever side of me you'd like to learn about.
I got you. No, I mean, I've always looked at it like this. I think when people, and it's so funny because in today's day and age, to where we were, you think about how we were in the 80s, 90s, hell, even in the 2000s to the mid 2000s, what was once taboo, and especially with the influx of like loyal fans and OnlyFans and what we have now with adult oriented sites, and even including the ManyVids, so to speak, everything in today's day and age has really become more normalized with the adult content industry to where we were like years ago when everything was so taboo. We've really become more open minded to a sense and really expanded the horizon, so to speak.
Absolutely. And I am a huge supporter of trying to be open-minded and show that side of, what we do. I am very much a non-judgmental person. To whatever makes you happy, and do you, and people shouldn't judge you for that. So I am a huge believer in just normalizing it all. Like, just because, me and my husband are in an open relationship, just because I've done mainstream porn, just because I've done what I've done, why should you judge me for what I'm doing? I really feel like normalizing the lifestyle and what we do. I've just been a huge advocate of that. And so I really, really believe that, everyone should be able to make their own choices and their decisions in their lifestyle and, own it and do you.
I think I've always equated it to this, like even as a young man growing up and even getting older as I am now. I just turned 33 about a month ago. So, I mean, I've even looked at it even in my 33 years of age, like even as a teenager, we expand, we grow, and we adapt as we do as people to what we like with our preferences and our uniquenesses and dare I say our quirks, our kinks, however you want to identify it. I think in today's day and age, especially with people, not only do I say the old saying of let the freak flag fly, but also at the same time too, if you like what you like, do what you do and stay on your path, stay in the journey, stay and put that car in gear, man, and just drive with it. We have so many things and opportunities out there. It's much like with music and everything's open to interpretation. Everything is subjective. So in today's day and age, if you want to do some adult work, if you want to put out some content, we're in the content creation field. We're in the social media saturation, if you will, to put it in the bluntest of
Absolutely.
terms. We have so many avenues that you can go to.
Absolutely. I mean, I 100% agree. And, to your point of how things change, in different stages of life and different times of when you're growing up, I feel like things are different. In my 20s, I was way more like self-conscious and worried about like judgment, and, that fear was really there in my 20s. And the 30s, I made a very big decision to just basically not give a fuck. So, I really believe in myself. My husband believes in me. We are so happy. I truly try to put out the positive vibes and just do what makes me happy. And there's been a lot of growth and learning to where I've come into things where I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize like I like these things. And maybe in my 20s, I wasn't ready for it, or you experience things different throughout your lifetime, really. So I think the 30s have been like the best years of my life.
I'm right with you there. It's like the old proverbial book of Dillygaff. Does it look like I give a fuck? The DGAF mindset, if you will. No, that I agree. I think I've learned that even my own right as I'm getting into my early 30s here. I mean, back in my 20s as well, I was a little bit apprehensive. You know what I'm saying? As we all are, we can be trepidatious in any part of our lives. But I look at it like this, man. You don't know until you go for it. But also, number two, at the same time, I can say this from the male point of view, and I'm gonna tell you straight up and down, like 6 o'clock. And like I've always talked about you in our messages and how I try to transpire and transmogrify this with the show. Like, y'all, internal, external beauty is so key with any relationship, foundation, friendship, however you want to classify and identify it is. like even as a young man, even into my adulthood, like the women that I've been with or dated, what have you, it didn't matter if it was a big girl, whatever girl else. If we can connect on a level or whatever, I'm happy with it. So I've always viewed women not only for the internal and external beauty and the work of art that they are. If you have a connection, just let shit vibe. I think more people need to learn how to vibe. People need to chill, and most importantly, as well, learn to just be in the moment, be present. That's the biggest takeaway you can really learn life is just be present and be in that moment. You know.
Absolutely. My God, I love everything you just said because that is exactly like what I embody. I feel like I am so vibe based. So I get asked all the time, like, well, what's my type of guy? That sort of thing. I literally don't have a type. And I know that's probably hard to understand for some people, but I literally don't. I am so personality based that, I mean, I've been attracted to so many different types of men and women, and it's truly based on that connection I get. So you could be, taller, shorter, bigger, any color. Like I really don't give a shit. If you're a cool person, you're a cool person. You could be hot as hell, but you have a bad vibe and you're like, that cocky, rude. I'm sorry, I don't put up with that. So I am 100% vibe based, and I feel like I always have been. So that connection of just, hey, are you cool? I'm cool. I'm very easygoing. I like to just have a good time. Can't stand drama. Like you will see me like drama, step away. Like I'm not for the drama. Like I just want to have a good time with good people. Like that's literally like that's what I'm here for.
That's how you have to look at it. And in your own right, I love your energy and your vibe too, ma'am, with your positivity. I like your style. But no, I look at it like this too. First of all, if you want to think of like a cocky jerk, we'll use a pop culture reference. We'll take it back to the 80s. Look at William Zabka when he was in Back to School, The Karate Kid, just one of the guys. Any movie that he played a bully pretty much. It's like the cocky William Zabka, the jock, or just like, oh, look at the common man. Look at me. I'm rich. I have all this stuff. That's literally what it is. That's the type of jerky stuff
Yes.
you get that are in today's society that think they're hot shit. But it's so funny because if you can tear that person out of size when it's just like, hey man, not a lot of people actually think you're hot and think that your shit don't stink. There's other people that will check you and bring you down to reality. I think those are the people that they need to be surrounded with, is people that will check them and tell them when to say no. And again, the surroundings, not just in that particular scenario, surroundings are so key. And I mean, people get to drama over things just like that. I mean, stuff that I would get pissed off in my 20s, I let it slide back off in my 30s because number one, I'm older. Number two, this shit ain't high school anymore. Excuse my language, but this shit ain't.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I'm 100%. So I am not one to be confrontational by any means. I will definitely voice my opinion or my feelings. Like I have no problem doing that. I'm definitely not going to be the one that's like stirring some shit up or anything. If I disagree with, a situation that's going on, ultimately I just remove myself because I just am not the type of person um to escalate things, or like if I'm very big at looking at the big picture. So if a situation is going on and overall, is it worth having a deeper conversation to kind of like fix a situation or work through something, talk to somebody, like can that person really change? If it's a no, I'm not wasting my time. So I'm very big on like where I put my energy. And this has to do with family as well. So you can be family. And if you are draining my energy because of, however it is you choose to live your life, I'm not going to put my energy with your energy. It makes me feel crazy. And I like to keep my happy bubble of my positive vibes. And I stay very true to that, and that's why I have a very small circle. I keep my close friends close, and I'm good with that. I don't need to be friends with everybody. I don't need 20 best friends. Like I'm good with my little circle.
I'm right there with you. I think my best friend, who is my co-host on this show, my boy Steve Nicofor, who I've been friends with since 2008, my best friend since all these years, him and a couple other people are like my small list. And I think you'll even find, folks, as you even get older, like if you have that small set, you can count your best friends on your hand.
Absolutely.
That's the thing too. You don't need like and I hate to say this, and I know social media is great for all of us to like plug into to connect with, much like you and I have connected in networking and putting out the content. But also at the end of the day, folks, sometimes you also need to take a break and put down the phone and step away from social media and get out into the real world, because there is a great real world out there where you can meet people and everything. Like, social media does not have to encompass your whole entire life. And especially with social media, like you were talking about how people with the drama and everything, y'all, we got to stop doing this on social media. Be more like this, because it's too much of this. It's like, who cares who likes this or who likes that? The politics gets into fray, and it's just ridiculous. At the end of the day, too, just if you don't like it, or if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I think people need to realize filter, number 2, boundaries, and number 3, at the end of the day, we're all people at the end of the day. We all want what's best for everybody. So just like, united, not divided, pretty much, if I do say so myself. So yeah.
Yes, spot on. Seriously. Like you say it so well, because I 100% agree again with all of that. That is just so me. And um it's hard to disconnect, I feel like, because my day to day, I am in so many places. It's very overwhelming and it's very draining. So when you start getting into a some sort of situation that is draining you in a negative way, then it for me, it's so hard to get back on track, because like I said, I'm in so many places. I think I need to like change that. That's my own personal thing. I feel like I'm too many places. um but I think if everyone just supported each other rather than created the drama. I am so about supporting each other. I'm in a couple of these groups on X, and these girls are amazing, and I love it. I literally, like, just this week, throughout some issues I was having, I'm like, man, this is driving me crazy. And these girls were so amazing to just like start chiming in, and they're like, oh yeah, I experienced this, suggestions, just support. And it was amazing. And some of the girls in there had commented, and they're like, this is really cool to see the support that we have. We're all in this together, right? All of us that are choosing to do this sort of, work, industry, whatever, we're all in it together. So there is literally enough for everybody if everyone just worked together, rather than being like, oh, well, they're doing this, I'm going to try and do it better, or break them down. It's really hard. And luckily, I feel like I have not experienced a lot of that. It's been pretty minimal of what I've experienced. So knock on wood. um, I feel very, very lucky for the group of people that I do this with.
I think God gives us our blessings and all these pearls of wisdoms that we learn throughout our lives. And I mean, you talked about family before, and I think probably one of the funniest thing I've ever had in my family. And I will say this, folks, I am Catholic. I do believe in God, and I do believe in our Lord and Savior. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, I look at it like this. I have been blessed to interview people of all facets of life, including this one over here, my girl B Square, doing her thing. But I look at it from a stance like this. It's like, this legit happened to me. My cousin, and I love her to death. She's great. Had to unfriend me on Facebook, because here's what happened. So I plug my shows on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I interview people,
Sure.
facets of life. You've seen it. A lot of the people who listen see it. Just because I've interviewed adult entertainment stars or adult content creators, like, oh, we can't be seeing this. I'm like, first of all, there is so much stuff going on in this world, like so many world problems, if you will, first world problems, if you will. Just because I interview such and such doesn't make me, a bad person, number one, or number two. That should not be that's the least of your worries. Who I'm interviewing should not concern you. And number two, we got all these other things going on in the world. I think I'm the lesser of the evils, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's just that type of mindset. And again, I love my religion. I love being Catholic. I love my family. But I got to say, buck wildness at its finest, Miss Brianna Brooks.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I 100% like see the same thing. It's just, you know, I don't think we're doing anything bad.
No.
Like I like, and that's what gets me is I think the biggest like stigmatism, or whatever you call it, the stigma, I don't know what it's called, but people think because we are in an open relationship, because I do porn or did porn, whatever you want to call it, it's like, well, you're a bad person. Okay, well, you knew me before for years, right? And then you found this piece of information out I don't talk about it with you. I'm not out there being like, hey, guess what? You know what I mean? Like, no, I think that is like, it's super funny on the fan side, the end user side. I think there is such a jaded sense of we just walk around naked and do all this crazy shit. It's like, I'm a real person. I do real things. I go to the grocery store, dress normal. You know what I mean? Like, I do normal things. And so I just think what I choose to do, what we choose to do, shouldn't be judged in that sense. And there's way worse things in this world, like way worse things.
And that's the thing. And you mentioned something perfect, like, and we'll get into your scenes in the adult entertainment industry in a sec. But I mean, to even tie it in to the adult entertainment world, it's like when you see a pornographic film, an adult film, however you want to classify it, it's like it's not just they lay there and sex magically happens and they're just nude, boom. No, there's lighting, there's every different textures and fixtures that really goes into making said film quality as far as content goes in filmmaking and cinematography. Like there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not just like, okay, we're gonna get naked, like to quote Tommy Lee, get naked, and then we get friggin' start making scenes. It doesn't work like that. It's
No.
like any type of movie. If you really look at it, it's an art form at its own right.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about it, and it makes it so fun and like it keeps my drive going. I can't get enough of creating because it is creating. You know, I create these scenarios, and on top of creating these scenarios, I get to have great sex. So it's super fun to be able to create and share, these ideas and things that I have with everybody, and to get the feedback on like, oh, I really loved how this was, or this scene was super hot. Whatever the feedback is, I love to get that, and it makes me, I always say it makes my slut heart happy because I'm like, I love creating it, and it really like it makes this sense of worth and excitement and happiness and fulfillment for me to do what I do. It really is exciting, and I just keep on hoping the financial side's gonna like follow. Um, because that's a whole nother side of this whole world where you don't just show up and you have sex. There's all this stuff that's involved. There's paperwork. There's the not so fun stuff getting, leading up to the actual like fun part. And then there's the editing, right? Like you have to do the editing of all of it too. I think a lot of people think that, oh, you just freaking take some feet pics and you make $1 million. It's like there's a lot involved, a lot of work involved. And this market is so saturated. I mean, there is literally porn everywhere. There's free porn everywhere. I have Pornhub. I put stuff out on Pornhub. Um, Obviously, that is not my favorite place, but people go there. So I try to provide the end user. I want everyone to enjoy my content, enjoy me, and trying to get the payment side of that is literally like what I'm working towards, trying to really make it financially worth it because it's so fun.
No, I feel you, and I think that definitely does translate very well within your films. And I say that every time you see a lot of it, you see the creative juices flowing, and you also showcase yourself as far as showing yourself a good time, but also showcasing some sensuality, some elegance, and many different layers that make a film set great. And I commend you and love and respect you for that, Miss Brianna Brooks. And I also look at it like this: I think people, when you look at really said films and everything, I always kind of equate it to like wrestling, because in wrestling, there's tribalistic fans of how they view professional wrestling, kind of like how they view porn and scenes. Creative juices are always flowing in porn, right? So in porn, you can have the storytelling arc of, we get the story that leads to the scene, and some people just want to watch it for the sex. There's many different reasons why people watch it, but I think also kind of comply and synergize with each other. So you could watch porn for the story that builds up to the scene, or you could just watch it for the sex. There's something that goes into the accoutrement, so to speak, of what makes a great scene.
Absolutely. And that's where I try and do, my intros and everything, I feel like are pretty cheesy, but it gives like the basic, synopsis of what's about to go down. Because I'm very big on like interaction. I love interacting with the subs on my pages. I want to know, what do you like? What do you want more of? Or what did you not really care for? I really go, you're the user, right? So I want to know, what do you want from me? Because I love to do a lot of different things. So if you really like this one type of thing, like I can do more of that. I like to have a variety on my pages and stuff. So, I have plenty of solo, but then there's a lot of different types of, sex scenes that I do. I just think that somebody does want that lead up, and then others, hey, it's 30 minutes, I'm just going to skip through and go through what I like. they still enjoy it either way, right? So I try to give the full option of what the guys are going to like, and then they use it however they like.
It reminds me of Cinemax late at night at like 3 or 4 in the morning when you would see the films of Willow and his wife, Nicole Sheridan at the time. And mind you, they were in a big plethora of movies around that time, and it focused on a lot of husband and wife scenes or different type of vibes. I think what's also very cool about that too, as well as even for the nostalgia factor, it works, it senses, and dare I say, it tintillates and tantalizes the masses, so to speak. But I also look at it from a stance too, as well, with everything that goes into it and everything that we're surrounded with. I mean, a music video that just turned 29 years old not too long ago, the great George Michael, God rest his soul, Fast Love came out in 96, and we just celebrated 29 years of it. You look at the video, they have the wetness coming down like it's a nice little puddle of water and everything that accentuates the sensuality, is also just the fun aspect of it. Everybody's dancing. It's Fast Love. It's talking about having fun and getting out there and making love. So you have everything that tells the story of the song while also incorporating the uniqueness and creativity that goes into a music video. So you're visualizing it from the lens, so to speak, and everybody has a different lens. It's called the eye, ladies and gentlemen. It's how you visualize it and how you take it all in. So I have to kind of look at it like a music video, so to speak.
Absolutely. And, you know, this ties into another question that I get asked a lot is like, if, you know, you win the lotto, what would you do? And it's super funny because some people are like, oh, you wouldn't do this if, you know, you won the lotto. And I'm like, hell no. If I had like an unlimited financial amount, I would make my shit better. So for me, like, I would continue doing it, but we're going to have badass places to shoot. We're going to have like the top notch lingerie. Like, I would be able to do so much more, like, but you know, the financial side does limit on some situations when you're filming and trying to create these things. But you know, like, that's what I love about mainstream is the props and the whole setup is so cool because it's top notch, you know, where when you're a sole creator on your platforms, you're limited to your means of what you can do. So can you afford a fancy hotel, or are you getting a cheaper one? Can you shoot at your house? Like those sort of things. So I think the going back to, like, you know, everybody has their own lens that they're looking through, and I would just love to be able to provide an even better, like, a better output of scenes and stuff, like, just, you know, higher quality. Even though my stuff's good, trust me, I like it. I watch it. I enjoy it. I know I'm biased, but I watch my stuff. It's my husband's favorite, so.
Don't apologize for your biasness. Much love to both you and your husband. I think that's wonderful. And I mean, I look at it like this, man. I mean, I'll tell you straight up and down, like 6 o'clock, the subtleties, intricacies, and nuances that go into everything. That's some of the best things that you could really find the three key elements of that make really everything worth having, so to speak. And I mean, I look at it like this from a standpoint like this. Like the first time I ever consumed or looked at adult content, I was probably like 12, 13, so preteen going into teenage years. The first site I'm in, I lost my mind. We were talking about puberty here, folks, like girlshuntinggirls.com, where it would be solo, like one-on-one with girls, or threesomes. The girls would be in the van, then you pick them up, and then you go back to the house, like the destination, like something that's so simplistic as that. And then you go find other sites with Naughty America and different things, especially like we have now with the X hamsters, the X videos,
Yes.
whatever. There's stuff out there that works, and that really, again, it's evoking emotions and eliciting reactions. That's key and keen in everything, especially in the adult entertainment industry. So I think if you take in your surroundings, hell, even in pop culture, look at True Life on MTV. True Life on MTV had a show called True Life, I'm a Dominatrix. Takes you into the life of Dominatrix, stuff that you don't even see. So you're constantly learning and you're absorbing, but also at the same time, too, you can get influenced and take everything from anything.
Yes, and I'm really big on exploring different avenues. I'll get requests all the time, like, "Hey, I have this kink. It might be a little bit different, you know." And I'm like, "Cool, tell me about it." I'm like, I have my certain things that I already know are like hard nose, and you know, and again, no judgment for any of that. You know, you love it, great, but I'm not, like, you know, I'm not down for that. But I have come across some things like they'll send ideas over, and I'm like, hell yeah, like I'll try that, you know. So I think they're there is just so many different avenues and things, and like exploring it, because you really never know. Me and Sammy always say, try it once, or like, I'll try everything twice, because the first time you may not like it, but the second time maybe you do. Like, who knows? I'm really a big believer on that, because I'm just very open-minded and like to explore. And I think that's what's super fun about all of this is literally, like, the sky's the limit. You can literally choose to do whatever you want, and you either enjoy it or you don't, and you learn from it. Like, I don't feel like anything is necessarily like bad, I guess, so to speak. Like, luckily.
No, and I mean, and we'll give a shout out here because I gotta say, you two, whether it's your lives or whether it's you two just in your bikinis mixing drinks or doing whatever the hell y'all do, because I think it's wonderful and y'all have such great chemistry on and off camera. Shout out to our girl, Miss Sexy Sammy. My goodness gracious, y'all two have great chemistry, great synergy. It shows off camera and on camera. I gotta give love to you both because my goodness, y'all bring the hotness, to put in the bluntest of terms.
I love it. Sammy is definitely my girl. Like, it is so genuine and real. And it literally was from day one. It was so amazing. And I'm so glad that we were introduced, because it's just like, it's just been history. Like, it's amazing. We just so vibe. We have the same sort of like outlook on things. And like, we just get each other, and I love that so much. I feel like I've known her forever. Like, we just get each other. So yeah, Sammy, you're the best. You know it. You're my girl.
All right.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the kitchen.
To the kitchen. This is we are trying something new. Summer is coming. The sun is out.
Sure is.
We like our bikinis are on.
Yes.
And if you know us, you know we love our cocktails. We are not opposed to a cocktail. Any hour of the day, you can find a cocktail that suits the hour without making it seem weird.
Exactly. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere. So whether you got to start with a mimosa and a Bellini, or you can move right into something else.
Exactly.
I have a bag of things. Mind you, we are not bartenders. I've never bartended. I was a cocktail waitress. Did you ever do any of that?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
I love the idea of it, and I wanted to, but I have not.
Okay, so I've only cocktailed. I don't know how to do any of this, but we thought we're going to start doing reviews of things, and we're going to start making some drinks and get better at it over summer.
Yes.
So that by the end of summer, maybe we are like our own bartender.
There you go.
I fucking love it. Let's
it's
do
a
it.
great idea. So
Let's
let's
do it.
get it.
So today we have decided we're going to try Moscow mules. With vodka.
Yes.
You're a vodka drinker.
I am.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Another episode of the Cocktail Besties.
Yes.
What are we calling it?
I don't know. We haven't figured out a name yet. Bikini Besties.
Bikini
cocktails,
Besties.
Bikinis and cocktails.
Ooh, bikinis and cocktails.
Yeah.
Bikinis and beverages.
There we go.
Ooh, I like it. So with that being said, for all of you who are just now starting to pick up that this is our thing, we've decided that we are going to become cocktail waitresses over summer.
Yes.
Or bartenders, better yet, for our own cocktails.
Yes.
So, in the meantime, what do you need with cocktails?
Snacks.
So, we are going to do some ratings on that as well and see what we think, because we are both savory girls. We love savory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're savory over sweet for the most part.
Definitely.
So, we have picked 3 new flavors that are out. We all know what brand this is.
Yes.
So here we are. And we are going to do a little review on which we like, or maybe we like them all. We don't know yet.
We don't know. We have not tried these.
We don't know.
We have
so
the
here
cocktail, and
Here we
now
have
we're
the
going to get
cocktail.
the snack.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Let's see what we find.
That's the thing too. I think what also, and I'm going to put this out there and I'm going to abbreviate this for everybody. Y'all represent the RDSA vibes, the real deal sex appeal, if you will. It really does showcase really on camera and anything that you do as well. Like seeing your films with the likes of Jay Black and everybody that goes into fruition. You work with so many people, and you mentioned from the imagery side of things, and I love that you also encompass this as well. Y'all, you can rock some sexy lingerie and the elegant side of things, but that sexiness vibes there. You could wear a jersey like the 49ers. You could dress in golf type of vibes, man. I gotta say, Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods never looked so good. My goodness gracious. Y'all can rock the golf vibes, if you will. Shout out to some Happy Fillmore action even. But there's something that even goes with some of your images and some of those things that really apply that overall layer of also sexiness to it. It really does suit and for which you're well, man.
Thank you. So if it's not obvious, I really love taking pictures. So yeah, I take like a ridiculous amount of pictures. I should have you guess how many pictures are in my recent file on my phone.
Oh my
Just a
God.
fun guess. Take a guess. Stab.
All right. Okay. I'll take a guess. So I hope I'm not off here. So I'm going to go probably in the hundreds. It could be thousands, but I'm going to take a rough little guess and go 700, 750. Then that range.
750 or 750,000.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll be nice. I'll go 750, 750.
750. Oh my God. You would be shocked. In my recent, so I have an iPhone.
Okay.
When you click it, it is over 100,000 photos. Like I literally have a problem.
I was thinking like, okay, maybe like late hundreds to the thousands, and I'm like, okay, that's a healthy balance. I'm trying to think, but yeah,
it is very unhealthy.
Okay, first of all, I can respect that too, because you talked about your bias for your work and everything, but also at the same time too, it shows your passion for taking the right shots. And like we mentioned, the art form side of things, I understand it because again, not only the appeal to us on social media, but it fits. It gets the nice little vibes to it. You're feeling yourself. I can respect that.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny too, is bringing in the other side of me is when you're scrolling. So it's like, yeah, I take a shit ton of like sexy pictures and all that, but then all of a sudden there's my dog, there's my kids. So it's like I just capture my life. I love to take pictures. So whether they're me or in the filming or it's family life, my phone is full of pictures.
And I think it's funny too because like I was looking, and I mentioned the golf one there, but it's like with the golf stuff, I think that's cool because I remember as a kid, my grandfather, God rest his soul, I remember as a youngster, like him sitting on his lap and he would have golf on and other stuff too. But I remember sitting there watching golf with my grandfather and he would have it on. And most people would think, oh, golf is so boring. But I'm like, if you really analyze, dissect, and decipher it, it's therapeutic, it's cathartic, but also at the same time too, it really does have a love for the game. And golf really also has that vibe to it where you can just, you get a driver, you hit the ball, you get a hole in one, what have you, you're putting. There's so many layers to the arts and mechanics of golf. So, I mean, some find it boring, but at the end of the day too, it is a process. And it is also very interesting if you really analyze it right.
Yeah, I'm a huge golf lover. Like, obviously, that's why I did the pictures and everything. Me and my husband watch golf all the time. Whenever it's on, we always watch golf. Most always think that's really funny. They're like, "You like golf?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's really exciting. It is a very challenging game. To be able to do what they do on the PGA is freaking wild, man. I play golf too. I'm not good, but I play and it's fun. But it also just reinforces like it's a tough game. It's just very tough. You can't just like pick up a club and a ball and go out there and swing. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be rough.
This will show my 90s cartoons nerdiness here. It's like that episode of Hey Arnold where Arnold and his grandfather are taking on Helga Pataki and her father Big Bob in the golf tournament. So Grandpa Phil is learning how to golf, and it's that video where the guy's like it's kind of like a very slow but very methodical, like take your putter, swing your putter, and it's like like slow, like beginners learning of how to play golf. So that's one of the things. Again, my 90s cartoons come out. I automatically go to the Hey Arnold episode, and Grandpa and Arnold are learning how to play golf.
That is so funny. I totally watched Hey Arnold. All the cats and the dogs going in and out.
That was the best part. It's like he goes home to the boarding house and then the squeak, and then like the cats and the dogs and the pigs and everything running out. It's hilarious.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. How funny.
It is. The Dino Spumoni, who was supposed to be like the Frank Sinatra on the show. You better not touch my gal. Come on now.
I love it.
It's a funny show.
God.
People don't know it. It's good. It's so good. But yeah, no, I mean, I look at it like that. That's even Hey Arnold, you could take some of your influences from. You could take your influences from everywhere. And I mean, I look at it like this too as well. When you look at the adult entertainment industry as a whole, we talked about analyzing, dissecting, deciphering it for you, because someone who's had such a gravitational pull to it. We talked about your thousands of photos that you've taken that you have in unhealthy possession. I think what's so keen about the adult entertainment industry, the photos, the imagery, the modeling side, and everything. There's so many layers that go into it. So I have to ask you, B squared over here, what kind of gravitated you towards the adult entertainment industry and really starting to make the content? Because we've seen it, we love it, we take it in, we drink it in, man. So what were kind of some of the gravitational pulls that really got you into it, that wanted to really, pursue it, so to speak?
Sure. So ultimately, I think it's my big kink to be watched. I like to be seen. I like when I'm seeing somebody that's enjoying me. I always want to be the best. Like I want you to just be infatuated with what I'm doing. Bringing you pleasure. So for me, I feel like it truly stemmed from that, and obviously like doing mainstream was a huge leap of like, okay, well, there's really no turning back from that. You know what I mean? Um, I just think it started with Stream 8 days. Like me and my husband, we had gotten into the lifestyle after we got married, and I'm like, oh, this is really hot. Like I like that my husband is getting turned on by me with somebody else. And then that like escalated to where I'm like, maybe there's like I liked the stream mate idea, being on cam. And I'm like, okay, there's all these guys that are just like sitting there watching me and like, you know, pleasuring themselves to me. And I'm like, I really like that. I thought it was super hot. Um, Being able to make money to show off and please somebody was like a huge like satisfaction. So I honestly can't remember how I got into mainstream, whether I reached out. No, I did. I reached out to one of the big names and was like, I think I'm interested. I want to try this thing. And me and my husband talked about it. I'm sure very briefly, because that's just kind of how we are. We just kind of like ride by the seat of our pants. So we decided, yeah, this would be cool. Like you can make money and do like actual like porn. It's like, okay, this seems really cool. Bring in like the lifestyle side of things, as far as like me with somebody else, but then the financial side of like, okay, I'm getting a check for doing what I like. So it was a very rewarding like first time ever doing mainstream. So it literally tied everything together of like the sexual pleasure. I love when my hair and makeup's all done and I feel super sexy in great lingerie or whatever it is I'm wearing. So you get all that, you get a great like multi-million dollar home or whatever you're shooting in. And then at the end, they give you a check. It's like, hell yeah, this is so cool. Um, Now, a lot of people won't agree with that, but for me, it made me feel really exciting to get that check at the end of a day of doing what I love. So it literally like spiraled from there to, um, spending time in mainstream while I was still working. Like I had a regular job, I just did it on the side. I didn't go full blown. But it was really a fun time leading like this double life, which I still pretty much lead a double life because not everybody knows about B squared. So um, it was just a very like exciting time to be shooting for these big name companies, and then I go back to work and nobody knows, or I don't know who knows. Then the only reason I got out of doing mainstream is because we wanted to start a family. I'm like, okay, this is super fun, but I know I want to have a family. Can't do that when you're doing porn. So I'm like, okay, stop that for a while, which obviously then I never went back to mainstream. But there's always been this pull inside of me of wanting to be seen, wanting people to watch me and create and share myself, online. So after family started, I'm like, man, like OF, when OF came out, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Like, this is so cool. This is like literally like sexual social media. Like, this is the best thing ever. So I was really excited for OF when it came out, and there was no monetization. Like, I wasn't trying to do it full time by any means. It's like, cool, you'll give me $5 for this. Awesome. I just want you to watch me and yeah, make a few bucks, but I'm still working. Then I decided to quit my job almost 2 years ago now to try and do it full time. It's hard, and sometimes I feel like it takes away some of the fun because you have to try and hustle so hard because everybody's doing all of these things. So it's really hard to show up so much every day where it was definitely more fun when I wasn't trying to do it like full time. If the money side was there, I'd be good. But I love to be watched and I love to make money on things I'm creating. That's ultimately like what has driven my passion. Like I just love it.
I love that. And I will say this with your passion. You're kind of like the Mel C when she went solo from the Spice Girls. Look at me, because you like to be watched and do that stuff kind of like that. I appreciate that. And I mean, I look at it like this. We always go with our passion. We go with our gut with what we're doing. Some people can do. I always equate it like this, like Sonique. And for those who remember singer Sonique during the Europop late 90s, early 2000s, like one of her videos, her hit song, It Feels So Good, right? So she starts off at the day, she's working in this like diner, kind of like doing the bus girl type of stuff, bus boy, waitress, what have you. And then at night, it also kind of equates to her real life. She's a DJ, she's at the club, she's vibing, she's having fun. I look at it like this. You work hard all day and you party as night as you can. It's one of those things too, as well as if you're passionate about something, much like yourself, the swingers lifestyle, just everything that goes into the pornographic side of things, you're taking everything, you're amplifying yourself, but you're doing it to the multiple decibels level, so to speak. You're really heightening up and pumping up the volume, so to speak. So I definitely can respect that, man. And I think not only do people enjoy watching you, I think it's very much a gratifying and very much a just rewarding and empowering type of thing, because it takes a lot of courage to do that, because a lot of people can't even get in front of the camera. So I think there's so many things that really go into the rewarding side of things.
It really does, because a lot aren't willing to get in front of the camera, and that's fine, to each their own. But I'm super willing and I love it. So, like, it's just, I love to be in front of the camera. It's very rewarding when I see the feedback and, the end user happy. Like, I'm such a pleaser. Like, I'm just naturally a pleaser. I want everyone to be happy, but then sometimes it just gets a little bit draining sometimes. But I'm aware of those things where I have to be like, okay, I need to disconnect for a little bit, need to, recharge, and then I come back, I love my peppy positive vibe, and I don't ever want to lose that. So I want to make sure, to always show up. I show up as me. I show up real every day on all the places, and I'm me. And I pride myself in that. I really pride myself in putting everything out there literally from me, and not doing the management companies, not doing the other things. Like, it's me.
It's DIY mentality, man, of do it yourself. And I think two of the best things I've always learned, and something that I take care with this show and in life, it's all about being the representation of your presentation, representing yourself well, presenting yourself well. And if you really look at life, much like you equate it with your work, right? Life is an art form. We're all applying our crafts. So we're just continuing to apply our crafts in amazing fashion. So what you're doing with your work and with you as a whole, within your overall being, you're just painting your canvas, and we're all just looking to create masterpieces, right?
Absolutely. Yes. I'm just waiting for my masterpiece. Until then, I'm just having fun putting paint everywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say this. I mean, you talked about some of your solo scenes well, and I wanted to get into this as well, because this was a perfect part of it that I always love. And it's the most simplistic things. Like, you could be doing some workouts, you could be doing the shower type of vibes. Hell, you can even be licking it like a lollipop, to quote Lil Wayne, for God's sake. I mean, there's something that's very sensual about that really does not only pique the interest, but I also equate it to some of the simplistic things. Like when Britney Spears was dressed like the schoolgirl and Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic images ever, right? I'll make another example. 99 and 2000, I'm taken back to everybody to MTV when they used to go to Cancun for spring break, and here's Eminem singing My Name Is, or here's NSYNC singing Tear It Up My Heart, and they're dancing with the girls. It's simplistic stuff like that. Like, that's hot. A certain image in a music video is hot, or movie, what have you. But like, that stuff is hot. Like the lollipop stuff, the shower stuff, the workout, man. The solo stuff is hot, man. It is really, really exemplifying you for your overall external beauty. I dig it.
Thank you. And I feel like my fan base is very much split, where half of them only want solo. They're like, I'm cool on, the triple X. Like, I want me and you, right? So when I'm solo, they can be picturing like that it's them in the shower or whatever the case may be. Where when I'm, making a sex video, like they see another guy, they might have some comparison issues where it's like, oh, this guy's bigger, he's more fit, or he can fuck me for 40 minutes and this guy might only last for 5 minutes. And that's not a bad thing. But if that's not what they want to see and they want to fantasize with just me, I love my solo stuff. Like I do a lot of solo stuff for that reason. I think through the years I've really been able to do well on my solo videos. Just my eyes say a lot, and I get a lot of comments on like the seductive eyes, and I'm very good on my speaking in my videos, and so that keeps them coming back for more of like, wow, like you really, like, you nailed that scenario, and I love that. So it's, the sky's the limit on creating solo as well. You can come up with so many things, and as long as you can verbalize it well and smooth, and like, you get into it, it shows. If you're not comfortable like speaking through a role play, I purposely will turn down certain role plays if I know I can't do that smoothly or to the top of my ability. I am very big on, I want to create something good. I want to create something that is quality. So if someone asks me for something that I'm like, oh no, like I can't do that. Well, I want you to do that. But I'm not going to be good at that. Like, that's not my thing. Even though they're willing to pay, I will say no to the money because I don't want to create a bad video for somebody that they're not going to enjoy, because I know I'm not going to be able to do it right. So going back to the pride in creating, like, I am very prideful in what I do, and I will only take on things that I know I'm going to do well at,
I mean, I look at it like this: when you're talking about the inflection of your character and your voice and everything that goes into that, normalizing and having that verbiage. I mean, I look at it like this: not only is it great that you take pride in the quality of it, I think that's wonderful because it just shows you your passion, your grit, your determination, and you just as a whole, that really brings out that infectious energy and spirit. But I look at it like this: look at one of the greatest commercials ever. I'm talking about Kelly LeBrock. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Like, just her voice, the English accent. Not only did it send people there, but my God, it's still one of the most influential commercials ever. So, I mean, if you can verbalize it like Kelly LeBrock did in the 80s and even add your own little flavor to it, and I'm talking about that flavor, if you will, it works, man, and it really exemplifies and it really kind of synergizes everything.
It really does. And I think for me, one of my biggest challenges is, like, I say I can do all these things well, right? But some people are hesitant to pay money for something. And I understand, because there are a lot of people that are out there that'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Pay me $50. And then they get this thing that, like, this person's just half-assing it because it may not be up their alley. So then the end user is going to be way more hesitant purchasing content from other people that are taking pride in what they do. And then it makes it hard for us that are trying to be professional, trying to, make high quality things. So the challenge is, once they buy, I get so many repeat buyers because they're like, that was freaking amazing. I can't believe that. Like, this is the best customer I've ever gotten. Like it again, it always makes me happy to hear those things, but it also reinforces I know what I'm doing. So like, it makes me happy to have that, that feedback. And then I have no problem saying, no, this is my price. This is what I'll do. Trust me, you'll like it. And if they do, I swear, they always like it, and then they buy more. So if someone's just willing to take that chance to be like, all right, let me try you out, you know what I mean? Then it's generally great.
I will say the chance is definitely worth taking. If y'all have not checked out my girl Brianna Brooks, aka B Squared, up in here, I gotta say, first and foremost, you not only are an absolute delight and absolute joy, and dare I say, a bright ray of sunshine, not to be confused with Natasha Bedingfield. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I look at it like this, man. You are definitely, your energy definitely radiates, and it definitely showcases within your being and your work. So it's been a blast talking to you tonight, and I do have a couple final questions before we close this thing out.
Sure.
But the overture's here. Anytime you want to come back for round 2, I'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Oh, it's amazing. I really do love being able to share who I am. And, if you're following any of my social media, you see it's very consistent. I'm the same person everywhere. I really love to hear that I'm a ray of sunshine, because that is like, that's literally my being. I just want to put off good vibes. I want you to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. I want everyone to be successful. And everyone deserves to be happy and enjoy their life. And that's ultimately, I'm just about like, dude, live your life and make it the best life you can. You get one shot at it. So live it up.
Absolutely. And I think to add to your point, and I love how you bring that up, I think it's at the end of the day, it's inspiring through words and actions. And also you have to exist to inspire. So, I mean, it's all about existing to inspire, right?
Absolutely. If you're quiet and you're just, you're not being out there in front, like nobody can see that vibe then, I guess. Like, so I goes back to the liking to be watched, right? But I like to be watched in all avenues. And if I can make somebody feel better by my silly, Instagram thing or whatever the case may be, then it's a win for me. Like I really want to uplift whoever I can.
Absolutely. And you certainly do that with your pearls of wisdom and everything you put into the forefront. So I think the couple final questions I'll ask here is too, because I love asking these questions because it really does. We can always take something from everybody. And I've always said this, and I also liked how you talked about the professional side. I think we'll go with this first because the professional side of things is key in any facet of life that you do, whether it be the adult entertainment industry, any job, any form of life, really. And I love how you bring that to the forefront because there's a way of talking to people who do content creation, especially on the adult side of things, when it's not just like, I've always said this when it comes to how you talk to people just in general, like don't send unsolicited dick pics, just be professional and know how to talk to people, because at the end of the day, you're human beings. And the misconception has always been like the intelligent side of things. But I'm like, y'all some smart sons of guns. So, I mean, there's constant misconceptions, but there's also something that really does showcase how awesome that the business really is, if that makes sense.
Yes, it absolutely does. I completely agree. And unsolicited dick pics, please. Please, no. They drive me crazy.
You know what it is too, and I think, and it's so funny too, and I think this goes back to relationships, like we talked about earlier on in the show. Like I can honestly tell you from the women that I've been with, and like I said, everybody that has come into my life, I take it as an experience, and I take it as everything. That's really have to do because every day is an experience and it's a moment, right? Honestly, I could say on, like we talk about our friends, like on the top of my hand, like in the shortcomings, I think any relationship I might have had like a smidge of a dick pic. And I think the reason why I bring this to the forefront is, and the reason why I say smidge here is because
Like, just a little bit.
just a little bit. I think like I can only count on my hand because I think it's just because, yes, it's the sexy part. It's very spicy. It spices up. I get it with your partner, but I'm also like, if I'm in the room with them or whatever, it's like they could just wait till you get home. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just be like, you know what I'm saying? And maybe it's the old school of me, but I get it from both sides. But I'm just like, I could say, yeah, like a smidge. We'll use the smidge. I've only done it like a couple times, like a handful. I don't know. That's just me. I think we're all different, but that's on my perspective.
Yes. Oh, I totally understand. My husband never sends me dick pics. Like that's not our thing. Like he'll send me some sexy selfies. Love that. After his workout, I'm like, hell yeah. And he gets all weird about it. He's like, oh, because I feel silly, sending you these pictures. I love it. So I'm totally down for that. Dick pics, I mean, to each their own. I love to rate them.
That has become like such a popularized thing with everything with OnlyFans too now. Like how crazy is it that we live in a world where like dick rating has become such a very popularized form,
It is, and I am here for it. I love it.
I gotta say, it does bring laughs and it brings joy. We mentioned the evoking emotions point, but that's just the fun that goes into it, man. Life and as a whole, just have to look at it as fun. And I mean, speaking of fun, I always love asking this question as well. What are some of the best takeaways that you've learned thus far being in the adult entertainment industry? What are some of the takeaways that you've learned and really have gotten to really take a grasp of?
I would say the biggest thing for me is to be like open-minded. I feel like being open-minded and flexible to like the different situations and scenarios, also having the confidence to speak up. If it's something you're not interested in doing or it's just not your thing, don't just go with it, like say something. So I really feel like having that confidence to hold true to who you are and what you're about, I think is a huge takeaway. I've always been a very timid, quiet person, which I know is always like weird for what I do, but I am. In my personal life, I'm very much like I'm good. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Like it's completely opposite. It's very weird. But I feel like being open-minded, but sticking to your true self. So that way, then you don't want to have regrets. You want to make sure you're doing you. And I think that is the biggest thing, because when you're in this industry, you are getting hit from all different ways of like, let's work together. Let's do that. Let's do this. I want to do this scenario. And it's like, if that's not for you, just, like to speak up,
I mean, I look at it like this. Madonna said it best in her hit single "Human Nature" off the Bedtime Stories album. Absolutely no regrets. I mean, if you're We're the Millers, no regrets, not even one letter, no regrets.
exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, I love that movie.
It's a classic. Just friggin' yeah. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yes. I
Know
heard
what
you
I'm
the first
saying?
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is one of me and my husband's favorite movies. We love that movie.
Hey, it features one of the best ribs and gags of friggin' just the whole cast. When Jennifer Aniston, they're sitting on the bus and the Friends song comes on at the end of the movie when they're doing the
Yes. Oh my God. Exactly. Yes.
You know how hard it is to even watch that movie, because then he did that other movie that I can't think of it. So the guy who plays his son, the guy with the ginger, right? Who's in it, like the one that's supposed
Yes,
to
Kenny.
no, okay, the one who gets bit by the spider.
Yes.
You know how hard it is to watch him in that other movie where it's about like they're in the maze or whatever it is, and then he's trying to act all tough and he's like, "Rise and shine, Greenie," and I'm like, wait a minute. How can I take you seriously when you just got your balls bit by a freaking spider and wear the Millers and like you're supposed to be like this bad? I know there's death in character in movies, but come on. I literally just
I know. I completely agree. Sometimes like characters just do so good in a certain role that you can't unsee it.
It's like that dude in the 80s. So I'm going to say this right now. I mean, people love their Twilights and stuff, and I think that's cool. I've seen it myself, but I'm a Lost Boys guy. I love the Lost Boys from the 80s, 1987, with Jason Patrick and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, the vampire type of vibes and everything. So the dude who plays the head vampire was also in the movie Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Oh, yes.
And it's like that dude plays like the snobby rich guy, and they're living on the yacht, and then here he is playing the head vampire over here. I'm like, can you talk about death in 1 year, man?
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute. This doesn't flow.
Like, snobby dude on the yacht is the head vampire in the Lost Boys. All right now.
Yes. Oh my God, that's funny.
That just shows the depth and everything. And I mean, speaking of death, I always love asking this, because you said it pretty much beautifully as well, with everything that goes into what you do and how we really apply our crafts. But for you, what is some of the best advice you could give, especially to the ladies that want to get into the adult content side of things and really do what you do and so many others have done as far as adult content goes?
Honestly, my biggest piece of advice, because I actually do get this question a lot of like, I'm thinking about doing this, my biggest thing is to really think it through. Like, because once you start actually committing to do these things, whether it's mainstream or just, OnlyFans or whatever, you start putting yourself on the internet in a certain way, you really can't take that back. So it's really thinking overall, are you going to damage any relationships? Do you care if you damage any relationships? Where are you with that sort of thing? What repercussions could come back for you choosing to do this? That is always my number one thing, is make sure that you and whoever you're with, your husband, spouse, whatever, that you're good with what potentially could come from all of this. You can affect, we were doing all of this before kids. So kids weren't even a thought, you know what I mean? Now that is a thought, and we've still continued. So obviously we feel, a certain way about what our choices are. But I just think if you're willing to do it, to commit, and then have fun, because it's a wild ride and it's amazing. And if you can be in the right headspace and the right mentality, it's the best thing ever. I absolutely love it. Met amazing people along the way, done some awesome and crazy shit along the way, and I truly don't regret any of it. And me and my husband made that commitment back when we decided we were going to do all of this crazy stuff. So we literally are willing to take any sort of fallback that potentially could come our way, because it's true to us. It's us and the way we live, and we don't believe we're bad people for choosing this lifestyle.
No, I think the best way to think about it with the lifestyle and what y'all are doing, I think, is nothing to put in the bluntest of terms. Is nothing but awesomeness. And I can't wait to see that awesomeness continue to progress, which leads to even more success. And I mean, for you, Miss Browner Books, this is where I step back. Ladies first. It's not just a Queen Latifah song. Where can we follow you on all forms of social media? The floor is yours.
I'll get you to list out. I won't bore you with everywhere. I feel like the main things are like Twitter. I'm at Bri Brooks XXX, BRI Brooks XXX, and then I'm always pushing for my OnlyFans. The OnlyFans VIP is definitely where it's at. But I'm literally X, OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, ManyVids, Pornhub. I'm everywhere. So if you search Brianna Brooks, you can literally find me everywhere. But if you want to actually like communicate, get to know me, I highly recommend OnlyFans and Loyal Fans, because that's where I spend my time actually talking to my fans. I put a lot of freaking love in my pages. So yeah, you can find me everywhere.
Will be in the description for the great Miss Brianna Brooks here. So y'all definitely go out of your way and follow her, because you're a great follower. You provide a lot of great photos, hundreds and thousands of them, and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And whatnot within your content. So you're definitely worth the follow, and the link will be in the description below this fine show today. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please feel free. Like, share, and subscribe. It's S&M Network Shows. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's mlarkinmb, Larkin_92. And if you're on the Twitter or X, however you want to classify it, it is SM Show 1 or MCL92. Still, I got to get used to X. I can't. You know what it is? And I'm not going to go on a mini rant here, but I'm just going to say this. It's just, so with Twitter, like I get it. Like the Twitter vibes is just because I'm so used to Twitter, because it's actually a name. It's not like a letter. Like, when did social media turn into Prince? What's next? We're going to have a symbol. And I love Prince, God rest his soul. But like Twitter just turned into like a symbol. So, because when I think of X, I don't think of Twitter. I think of X going to give it to you, going to give it to you.
Exactly. Yes. Oh my God, that's funny.
I think X to the Z exhibit. Somebody want to pimp my ride? Like, come on, now. Like that's what, you don't go to X and oh god, yeah. But anyway, the guy behind that has a fixation with the letter X. I digress. So rant over. I will say this: follow all of us on social medias and connect and network. And Brianna Brooks, do you have any final words for the listeners and your faithful fans?
I just want to say thank you guys for, the support, following me, all the love that I get, the likes, the comments, subscriptions, of course. But seriously, I've loved the support through the years. Some guys follow me ever since the beginning. So I really appreciate every one of my fans, as long as they're nice. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity, and gives you a little bit more insight to me, the girl behind the camera, the hundreds of thousands of pictures, and all my crazy posts and everything. So that's me.
And you are wonderful, ma'am. And as I always say with this, folks, the mindset, much like what I go through with everything with life and how I view women and people as a whole, Reach, you can also kind of link together with everything, the synergy, as I'm pounding my fists like this. Beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Brianna Brooks, I include you in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. Thank y'all.